go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Burberry. It's probably been a long time. I don't talk much about Burberry. Obviously not unboxing. We have a fragrance that was a returned product from Frags, and we have some leakage here. I can already tell, so let's hope that this thing can spray. That would suck that I did a video. And well, you're not going to see this video. If you see this video, the thing is sprayed. Maybe I should have done that before. Anyway, we are unboxing, I believe, a discontinued, because Burberry the Beat on the men's aisle, oh, she's been discontinued a long while. This one right here, its counterpart, the Beat. And you could say the Beat for her. I don't think that's the true blue name. I think it was just the Beat. This was the original. Does it say the Beat? Yeah, the Beat EDP. Ooh, it's got the notes on here too. Interesting. This is a tester, actually. It says it right here on the sticker. So it might have came with a generic box. So this one right here, let's delve into it. Burberry as a brand, I'm lukewarm. You know, you got your Burberry London, you got your Burberry the Brit, Burberry Brit, sorry. And I'm trying to think of others, but the Beat was okay. Burberry is a brand that, I don't know, I'm not really checking out, honestly. They got some cool bottle aesthetics. They really, the marketing side of things really like to use that Burberry pattern, and they do it well. Unfortunately, as far as the fragrances themselves, they're good. There's some that are good, but you're not going to get, and I don't want to say this, I don't want to be rude, but there's no real classics in the Burberry. It really reminds me of, I just did a review on, which brand was it, that I said they really need a brand makeover. They never really hit, and I'm trying to remember which one was it. I forget, but it was a designer brand. And what I meant by that, and what do I mean by that, Burberry, is that they have that potential to be a second-tier fragrance brand. You know, we got the Chanel, the Dior, and the Hermes, and those three, I feel, are the three-headed monster in the first tier. They really do high-quality stuff. They're very much, the quality's there. The price point reflects the quality. And it's just, those brands are the upper tier of the designer, at least in the men's aisle. Now in the women's aisle, Burberry is one of those brands that never really had traction. And I mean, like, they could be a second tier fragrance. And I feel like brands like Gucci, YSL, Burberry, they have that cachet. They got the name, they got the logos, and they can really do some great things. And they get hits here and there, but they're not really great. And Burberry is almost like a way down, like it really is. They got a lot of solids, but they don't have any home runs, right? Burberry London, the men's aisle, is really good. It's really good. Burberry Brit, same thing, really good. And then they got these flankers, summer editions, things like that. They're okay. But it's a brand that could do more. Now, let's get back to this one, because I like to talk, as you can tell. My videos will run 10 minutes long, and I talk about history and things like that. I like doing that. It's my channel. I like doing that. It's not a 2-minute video. And if that interests you, let's get to that. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. I really appreciate it, especially with a fragrance like this. An oldie, a discontinued. Nobody, you know, you're not going to get a Jeremy fragrance. You're not going to get a Curly. You're not going to get any of these fragrance heads that are in it for the money. Call a spade a spade. They're in it for the money. They're not going to be talking about this. Why it's discontinued. It's not available. There's no paycheck in there. No. Now, if you're a fan of that, you can subscribe to me. I'm going to be a straight shooter, and I'll be talking about fragrances like this. So let's take a look at the note breakdown. Let's see what this one has to offer. And by the way, I don't know if it's the leakage, but somebody took a big bite out of this fragrance. It's way down, right down to this actual line here. These things are full up to the brim. 80% volume. Okay, let's take a look at the notes. Inside joke. Anybody that's in the fragrance community will get that joke. It's just, all right, so let's take a look. And we got tea. Tea is the note that I just gravitated towards in this note breakdown. Iris, okay. Bellflower, that's interesting. Okay, but other than that, there's no real sexy notes in here. Hopefully it's a tea-based one, maybe an iris-based one. It was released back in 2008, so it has some years behind it, lots of years. Been discontinued? I don't know. I would probably go check on the Googles and you'll find when it was discontinued, probably several years ago. This is not a new release at any shape, way, or form. Now, the nose is behind this. We got a three-headed monster. We got Rapillon. Rapillon. Amazing with spices. There's cardamom in here. We'll see what he did with that. We all know that Rapillon had his hand in the cardamom aisle of the note breakdown. He's good with them. Olivier Pulge is also a nose behind this. Wow. And then we have Beatrice Piquet, rest in peace. So we have a three-headed monster in regards to the noses. Let's get into it. Let's delve into it. I have my strip here. I'm going to spray it on strip. Hopefully it works. I didn't do this long intro for nothing, hopefully. Atomizer looks kind of beat up. Oh, cap looks gross. Okay. Actually, atomizer is wet, so I'm assuming it'll probably spit out stuff. Please work. Oh, well, it works. It's all over my hand now. But okay, let's smell it off strip, and then we'll put it on skin. So it works. So we have a valid video, and it's not like that happens a lot. It's happened like maybe 2-3 times, and maybe I should be testing these before I do it, but that's what an unboxing is all about, right? So let's delve into it. Fresh. Smells like the 90s. Yeah. Very, very light. And that tea's in there. Oh, yeah. And it's got the citruses up top. So very light colored fragrance. Musky, floral, and a little citrusy. That's pretty much it. Fresh, clean, inoffensive. Quite unisex as a fragrance, in my opinion. There's a little bit of that tea accord, a little bit of like iced tea, green tea kind of feel. It's actually kind of nice. You get that solid citrusy bergamot, mandarin combo. Let's put it on skin before this atomizer just blows up on me. It feels like it's loose or something. At least it's working. Yeah. Smells like the 90s, man. It clean, fresh, inoffensive. The tea note is actually quite prominent. And I mean that like in a watercolor-esque type way. There's some florals, that bellflowers coming through, you know, rose petals kind of thing. Not getting much of that cardamom. There's pink pepper also listed, so there is actually some spices here. I'm not getting much of that. Maybe the rosy quality of the pink pepper. Other than that, there's not any real piquant. It has some green aspects, and maybe the cardamom will play on with the tea. I could see that. But a very solid tea note back in it. Watery aspects. Nothing much from the iris, personally. The bellflower showing its petal, sweet floral aspect in here. It smells like flower petals. You know what it smells like? It smells like an updated version of CK1. Yeah. Like no colors, even though I've listed some. Really just a unisex, a little floral, a little tea. Like, you know, it's almost going into that Issey Miyake 90s, Calvin Klein 90s kind of mashup where it's musky, it's floral. It has watery aspects, but not quite aquatic. It has like a green tea accord, which again goes into that. I'm starting to feel a little spice here, but it's very gentle. Nothing here to love. Nothing here to get excited about. You know, what this reminds me of is kind of like one of those that, you know, it's long been discontinued, but you may find something like this at a TJ Maxx kind of thing, where you found it at a bargain bin, and it's, for the right person, it can be a signature scent. It can be a daily wear. Again, inoffensive, well put together. I have no issues with the build on this, and with the noses attached to it. Not that noses defines quality. It does not. Just because I love Dominique Rapillon doesn't mean he's had no flops in his resume. Same thing with Pulge. But they tend to hit more than they miss, and that's why I enjoy those perfumiers, but it all depends on the brand, the creative direction, and all that, right? That really sets fragrances apart from the nose itself, right? And it can really restrict a great nose. An updated CK1 is probably the best way to describe this. Unfortunately, it didn't really hit like CK1 does, obviously. Still on the market, still selling like hotcakes, but it has that resume. It has that track record. This didn't really have that track record. I feel like a lot of people wore this when it first came out, liked it, moved on to other things, got discontinued, forgot about it, bottle's empty, and then maybe eventually they'd be looking for it again and noticing that it's discontinued, harder to find. That's where this one kind of slots in, unfortunately. Like a piece of fragrance art that is basically losing its time within the perfume world. Once the final bottles hit discounters, it's game over for the beat. Nobody's going to be talking about it. I'd be very surprised if anybody on YouTube has spoken about this in the past 5 years. I'm probably the only goofball warming up the video, camera and going, hey, let's do this. 300 views later. What are you doing? You're not an influencer. No, I'm not. So at the end of the day, yeah, an updated CK1 is exactly like if I had to do 30-second fragrance review on this, that's where I would go. Well composed though. Bargain bin, could be a steal of a deal. But again, there's nothing here to love. There's nothing really here to hate. It's definitely daily wear, signature scent. It doesn't have much personality to it, but it's just very nicely done. So as far as Fragflex goes, because I got this in a Fragflex haul where they returned a product. I don't know if Fragflex has it. I haven't done, and again, on these unboxing videos, there's a lot of them that maybe some of my subscribers are like, Mark, you could just take 2 seconds and go take a look if Fragflex have it in stock or not. I'm assuming they do. If they're asking me, maybe not. But you can find this at Fragflex. You can definitely find some Burberry releases on Fragflex. Use code TFG10. If you stumble upon this video and you're like, oh, I've been looking around for this thing, well, maybe Fragflex has it for you. 10% off is TFG10, a code for you to utilize site-wide. Doesn't have to just be this release. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to hear your take on this one. Obviously, the new generation in the fragrance community probably won't even know what this is, but I know I got some old heads that may have smelt this and enjoyed it for what it was. And again, no fireworks here, but just a good perfume. Just good. Just good. And Burberry has a lot of misses, so this is actually a very positive fragrance review. It's exactly where I feel like a lot of Burberry scents, like Burberry London, Burberry Brit, they have that just solid feel, like that aura to them. Just solid. And it reminds me that I should be, I haven't worn Burberry Brit for men in a long time, and I like that. That's a powdery one. I like that one. Anyway, as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.